Hello everybody, my name is Katjamacabre, better known here as the Yogi vocal coach, and I mentioned in my last video that I was going to be putting together a video using my water and straw that I never used. So this is one of the best semi-occluded vocal exercises I can ever teach you. When I was younger and going through the first steps into finding out I had a vocal fold cyst, I was told by a doctor to blow bubbles into a straw, into a cup of water, and that would magically heal my voice. Spoiler alert, it didn't. In addition to royally annoying teenage me, I have now eventually put it into my practice as a singer. This might look a little bit simple, and actually I think I've put too much water in this glass, so just to show you it's a functioning straw, let's talk a little bit about why we're putting water in a glass and putting a straw in it for the purpose of singing. Semi-occluded vocal exercises with use of a straw and glass of water have been used in the singing community for quite a while now. You'll probably see on things like Instagram and TikTok and other social media platforms, people selling all kinds of different ways to do this, and you really can just do it with a glass of water in a boba straw. I got this straw online and it was sent to me by one of my lovely followers over on Instagram, so thank you so much, Timo. But you can just go down to your local boba shop and go, hey, can I have one of these straws please? We're gonna get into why, this and how. So straws on their own, I just hit myself in the head with that, are really good just for SOVs in general. You can pop them in your mouth and do one of these. And you might notice that the way that your voice sounds is very different when you're using a straw. Some of my students have complained about bigger cracks in their vocal register. Some of my students find they can't get higher with straws in their mouth, and some of my students are all right with them. But the reason that that might be is that when we have a straw in our mouths, what it's doing is it is changing your vocal tract. It's elongating the output of your vocal tract. It's almost like you've kind of got a lot longer lips to get through. The sound is coming out of the tip of the straw now. It's not coming out of my face. Why would we use SOVs in the first place? They're not a cure-all, but they're really, really good for helping your voice when you need to get through a tough time. Let's say you want a better warm-up, nice and easy in the morning. If your technique isn't right there, if we want to do any kind of register blending, getting over your mixed range, your passaggio, the crack in the voice I mentioned in my last video. If we're struggling with lyrics, we can replace them with SOVs. And one of the good things about them is that they are really useful for cool down exercises. I have mentioned previously in passing about this reverberating off the vocal tract and vibrating the vocal folds and getting that kind of massage effect. That's how they were explained to me back when I was having all of these things done for the first time. The idea is that the vibration on the vocal folds doesn't travel as far as if we are singing. It comes back through the body. If I block off the end of my straw, the sound doesn't move, it's stuck in my mouth. If I let the straw live, I'm getting the sound to leave. But what is happening internally is that the sound is kind of echoing back on itself and making my vocal folds feel much more buzzy and vibraty, other than if I just go, ah. Try it yourself. If you've got a straw handy, pop it in your mouth. You're likely feeling lots of vibration, whereas if you take the straw out and do it on an there's not as much vibration coming back into the larynx. Now, bear with me today, my voice is very cracky and crackly. That is because I'm still waiting to undergo vocal fold surgery. It's happening in March now, but let's do these together and hopefully we'll get some really good TLC on those vocal folds. Let's start with just the straw. We've been doing a couple of ooh scales with this straw, so let's do some together. Let's start nice and tall, Hostanot for me. Straw, mine's got a pointy end out. We want the soft end in. And we're going to do it on a new. Keep your lips relaxed while you do this, because the more pressure you're putting here, the more tension in your face, and the more difficult this exercise is going to be. So for everything we do today, keep it chill, okay? That's our starting note. Are we ready? Nice deep breath in. 1, 2, 3. I did that one to demonstrate the absolute difference. If I take my straw in my mouth and do that same scale, ooh, it's much smoother and less broken than if I do it with this. Why is that? It's because this is showing the gaps in my range. This is showing me where my break is. This is showing me where my cyst or my vocal folds is. And it's also showing me where I need to amplify my use of technique. Ooh, it's much easier for me to do without the straw because I have access to my mix range and my mask resonance and my nasal cavity. With this, I am forced into my head voice register. That's my head voice there. There we go. So I'm focusing on those different parts of my register and range. This is where this comes in handy. Okay, let's try it in water now. This is really fun. Now, some of the benefits of semi-occluded vocal exercises, especially this one in the water, we can help to feel those sympathetic vibrations in the face, which can really encourage that resonant tone. That's how I got it sounding so like sleek in my mix range. It helps develop mixed voice register and blend that kind of mix between your chest voice and head voice and kind of get it nice and smooth. And like I said before, it really helps to highlight where those changes need to occur. It can help improve access to higher pitches by showing you where those clunks in your range occur. And it can help cushion vocal fold collision, which can help encourage gently balanced onsets and offsets, and also helps to prevent pressing or over compressing the vocal folds, which, as somebody who has been using lots of hyper compression on her voice for years now because of the vocal fold cyst, this is such a useful exercise for me. And now we're going to get into the world of laryngeal massage with bubbles. If you want to dip into the world of external laryngeal massage, check the eye in the top corner and there'll be a video right there for you, which is all about neck massages. For this, we want to keep the straw approximately kind of 2 inches deep in water at a maximum. For me, I've kind of gone a little bit overboard today just so that you can see the sheer amount of water. I'm also using a boba straw. It's a much larger size of straw. It's similar to a PVC pipe, which is what they actually gave me at the hospital. But for the purpose of today, we've gone for my lovely green straw, which matches my wall behind me. You can do this with a standard straw, but I prefer these. I also prefer, this is acrylic. You can get PVC. I wouldn't necessarily recommend a paper straw for this exercise because it is submerged in water for quite a while. But pick and choose, and obviously we're in a cost of living crisis. Don't go and buy things you can't afford right now. Use what you have. We are going to do a very similar exercise to the one we just did with the straw, but we're going to keep it on a bubble. So it's going to look like this. Now, the idea for this exercise is you want to keep the bubbles stable and not get more bubbly as you get higher. So you don't want... You want the same level of pressure. Starting off, nice deep breath in. Low pressure. Keep it going. Couple more. Last one. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Feel free to replay it as much as you need to go over those exercises with me. I know I only did one demonstration for each of them, but I promise you they are super useful exercises to keep in your back pocket for a rainy day, or just to kind of have in your repertoire for your daily or weekly practice. If you enjoyed this content, I do offer weekly or fortnightly lessons with me. They are £30 GBP. They can occur online or if you live locally in person, and I teach Mondays through to Wednesdays. Make sure you leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you'd like to see next or how you plan to use these in your routine. And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much for sitting with me today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!